What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video, and in this video we will talk about the prospect of Liverpool having an awesome big parade after winning the Premier League title in the streets of Liverpool, but not straight after, but whenever it is allowed, because Klopp said that the first day when the authorities allow the parade to happen, then Liverpool will host a massive parade on the streets of Liverpool because they want to celebrate the title with the fans, and this is what Klopp said. But first, let me know, how will you celebrate if Liverpool win the title? If you are a Liverpool fan, let me know in the comments below. I don't even know what my reaction will be, because I have dreamt about this since I was a kid, since I started watching football and following Liverpool, and I've dreamt of celebrating a Premier League title for so long. This is like my 18th season of watching Liverpool, and I just don't even know what kind of emotional state I will be in, but I will probably do a host of different things to celebrate the title. And let me know if you have any suggestions on this channel how we should celebrate witnessing the first title, the first Liverpool title. Let me know in the comments below. And this is what Klopp said: you celebrate always after a cup final or after the game where you win a big trophy. Wherever it is, you celebrate the Champions League first in Madrid in a hotel. A lot of people are around you and you don't have time for your family. If you want, you can find issues with the situation. But if we will be champions, then whichever celebration is possible, we will do it as a team internally and with all our supporters in the moment when it is allowed to do so again. I can promise, if it happens, there will be a parade as well. Whenever, who cares? We only need one day when everybody will come, and then we will do that. I have missed football so much, it's unbelievable. Klopp continued: I know it's not the most important thing in life, but it is my passion and I love the people, and I hope the people are looking forward to it, because we definitely are. And I think this just shows that Klopp is a very emotional person, also a very smart manager, but he is a man of many emotions, and he will definitely celebrate like crazy when Liverpool can finally get over the line. And also Klopp many times said before that he wants to win the title on the pitch. He doesn't want the season to be cancelled or curtailed or suspended. He wants to win the title on the pitch, and he wants to do it in a winning fashion. So he doesn't probably want to see Man City lose games and Liverpool winning the title that way. He wants to go out and win the games and celebrate with the players on the pitch after winning the title. So even though social distancing is important, when the Liverpool players are all tested, the Liverpool staff, everybody is tested at Liverpool, and if all their results are negative, I don't see an issue with the team celebrating together on the pitch, lifting the title together, lifting the trophy together, because that image, that video will be probably forever remembered. That will be forever played in Liverpool's history as the first title in 30 years, the first league title that Liverpool have won in the Premier League era. So I think it's a very significant moment in history and it should be celebrated. And of course Liverpool want to set a good example, but I don't think celebrating with all the teammates apart from each other is really necessary when all of their test results are negative. But that's just my point. And Klopp also said this: we have a lot of work to do, and Liverpool wants to win as many games as possible in the Premier League, and we won't rest players. Klopp confirmed that Liverpool won't rest players even after mathematically being confirmed as Premier League champions. And this is what Klopp said: it's nice to think about it, but we are not champions yet, and we know that. We know we are close, but close is not quite there. There are 27 points left for us, 27 points to play for, and we will try everything to take them on. We are still not champions. We have to play football games and we have to win them. We don't want to stop winning after 2 games or whatever it is. I don't see results written in the stars. We have to work really hard for every game. And the Premier League is still talking to the government and to health officials and to the police about several of Liverpool's games. They could be held at neutral venues. Nothing is confirmed yet, but they are looking at the Everton-Liverpool game, the Manchester City-Liverpool game as two of the potential games, Liverpool games, to be played at neutral venues. Wembley has been mooted as a venue, and Merseyside Police said that they had no objection to Premier League games being held in Liverpool or in Everton Stadium. So I think that Liverpool would love to play their home games at Anfield. Jurgen Klopp said that, and also Jurgen Klopp said this: "Why we will not have the help from the crowd, but no team will have that. So where is the advantage? Whoever we play, it is the same situation, which is why I'm not too worried about it. We have tried to simulate the situation by training in the stadium and getting used to it. If you look at Germany, they have not had a lot of home wins. If the alternative is to not play at all, then I will play wherever you'd want. I don't care. My players were able to rest and they are in good shape returning to training, and some players have been able to rest for the first time in ages," Jurgen Klopp said. Also, Jurgen Klopp confirmed that some of the Liverpool players were better than last summer after a shorter break. "When we start, we will have had 4 weeks of training, 3 weeks of contract training together, and that should be enough. It has to be enough. You never know after a summer break how you will be when the season starts again." And it is a little bit similar to this time. From the first match, we all play for absolutely everything, and that is the mentality of Jurgen Klopp and of Liverpool, that they will play every game like it's a cup final, and they will try to win every game like it's a cup final. And I don't necessarily agree with Jurgen Klopp in that it doesn't matter if it's at Anfield or if it's a neutral ground, because Anfield still has a home stadium feel to Liverpool players. They know every blade of grass, they all know every corner of the pitch, and they are used to the surroundings, the home dressing room and everything else. So I don't necessarily think that it doesn't really matter where Liverpool play their games. And of course, if it's possible, if it's allowed, Liverpool will play their games at Anfield. But if not, we will play at Wembley or at wherever neutral ground the Premier League selects, and we will try to win the title there. And I'm just so happy that Liverpool will have a parade, a trophy parade, to celebrate the title whenever it is allowed. That is going to be a madness. And there are some very interesting statistics that has been recently revealed about which team uses the most tactical fouls in the Premier League, and Manchester City and Arsenal are the top two teams in the Premier League who, after losing the ball, they use the most often tactical fouls to stop the opposition. And what is very interesting is that Liverpool is last on the list. So Liverpool are the team who actually uses tactical fouls the least amount of times. Just 4% of times when Liverpool lose the ball, they use a tactical foul to stop the opposition, which is really remarkable considering that Arsenal use 8% and Manchester City 7.2%. And also what is still very interesting is that this comes after the fact that Guardiola and Arteta were famously caught encouraging Manchester City to make fouls to stop the opposition when other teams were counterattacking on the Amazon Prime Man City documentary. And also Manchester City's summer signing Rodri has recently, of course, admitted, and accidentally or not, he actually claimed that Guardiola was teaching him how to foul the opposition when Manchester City lose the ball. And that is very, very interesting in my opinion, because I mean, Liverpool are a very fair play or oriented, clean team usually. I mean, yes, we had some players in the past who weren't like that, but most of the Liverpool players nowadays and previously are not dirty players who just foul the opposition time and time again. So I think this just further proves that Liverpool are actually one of the cleanest and nicest teams in the Premier League if it comes to fouling the opposition. And I think that's actually a very interesting statistic that I wanted to share with you guys. I mean, Everton are third Crystal Palace 4th, Leicester City 5th in the team's order of who makes the most tactical fouls in the Premier League after losing the ball, which I think is very, very interesting. Let's talk about Jerzy Dudek, the goalkeeper who was of course the hero of the 2005 Champions League final, and there was a 15-year anniversary and celebration of that amazing cup final. But I think Jerzy Dudek was pretty ruthlessly put into the second choice and replaced long term by Rafael Benitez, who signed Pepe Reina just after Liverpool won the Champions League. And Dudek was not impressed with how Rafa Benitez dealt with him at the time, and he recently said in an interview this: "I told Rafa that the World Cup was on the horizon and I needed to be playing football. Köln were interested, but a few days before the transfer window closed, Liverpool called and said, why is Rafa..." So Köln actually called Jerzy Dudek and they asked him, why is Rafa not even talking to us? And Jerzy Dudek said this: "I was surprised at the time. I thought everything had been agreed and the transfer was a done deal. The next day I stormed up to Rafa Benitez after training. He said, they only offered a loan deal and you are too important for us. They want to give us £800,000, but what if Reina gets an injury? I can't put £800,000 in a suitcase and put it between the goalposts." Then I had this crazy thought: I think I would just punch him in the face. This evil whisper in my head was telling me that if I hit Rafa, they would let me go to Köln. I mean, yes, sometimes we all had some evil thoughts, but how on earth can you admit this in an interview? I mean, yes, it's after the fact, like 15 years later, so I guess now it's okay, but that's, I just have to laugh. That's a pretty hilarious story actually from Jerzy Dudek, and I wanted to tell you guys this. And Rafa Benitez, it wasn't personal with him. He was just a ruthless manager. I mean, even Steven Gerrard said that Rafa Benitez sometimes treated him with the cold shoulder just to get the best out of him, because he was that type of manager. He wanted to provoke a reaction from the players, and sometimes he treated them with a pretty hard way in an effort to actually make Liverpool better. So yeah, some people don't agree with these methods, but you can't argue that Rafa Benitez was a legendary Liverpool manager, and he's still a world-class manager. And there are also rumors of Newcastle United potentially being interested in bringing back Rafael Benitez, who actually pretty openly declared in the media that he wants to come back and coach Newcastle if the takeover happens. And I mean, Rafa Benitez mainly left Newcastle because of Mike actually, and because of the lack of funds that Newcastle gave him. But imagine Rafa Benitez with an almost unlimited transfer budget. He could work absolutely wonders with Newcastle United. And I mean, when Liverpool were in their best shape, we played some very, very attacking football with Rafa Benitez. Maybe not as spectacular as under Brendan Rodgers or Jurgen Klopp, but it was still a very, very good football. And Rafa Benitez is one of the best tactical managers out there, so I'm sure that he would actually make a very, very good Newcastle United team out of them if the takeover happened and if Newcastle could spend more money in the transfer window. And Brendan Rodgers, of course, current Leicester City manager, former Liverpool manager, actually pretty openly talked about probably his biggest failed transfer, which was bringing Mario Balotelli to Liverpool. And this is what he said: in my view, Balotelli should be right now one of the top 3 strikers in the world, because he has everything. His attributes, his pace, his power, his finishing, they had everything, and he had the potential to become one of the world's best. But that's the difference between a talent and just a pure talent and a working talent. A talent who also works hard. He doesn't want to work, Balotelli. And that just sums up Balotelli's career. And it was really, really sad, because I think that at Liverpool, that's when it became very clear that Balotelli will never make it. That was his last chance at the big club, and at a truly big club, I mean in terms of European giant. because he was at previously at Inter, at Manchester City, but when he went to Liverpool and he absolutely flopped, that's when everybody knew Balotelli will never make it at the top. And it was sad to see, because at Manchester City and in the Italian national team, when Italy went to the Euros, to the final, and Balotelli was almost unplayable sometimes, he single-handedly knocked out Germany, I remember, with 2 absolutely amazing goals, and he was sometimes unplayable for Manchester City as well. He had so much natural talent that even at the biggest level, the Premier League, he was sometimes really, really awesome. And then his career just went like this, and he just wasn't working hard. There was always a story in the media about him clowning around, like setting fireworks off in his own bathroom and out of his window, and his career is a sad tale of what happens to a big talent who doesn't work hard and who doesn't have the work ethic, the mentality. And Balotelli didn't have the right people around him as well, but his potential was so good that he could have been a Liverpool legend if he just worked hard. If he was loyal to Liverpool, he could have made it at Liverpool, but he always found an excuse, and he always found something to complain about. And yeah, it's just a sad tale of a player who didn't make the most of his career, in my opinion, because now he's at Brescia, who are very likely to get relegated in the Serie A. And every time I see Balotelli, I just remember a what-if scenario, because that Liverpool team, after Suarez left, it was crying out for Balotelli in his prime, a player who just worked hard every game and who banged in goals and got assists. And Suarez left such a big void at Liverpool that if Balotelli really performed like he could have done if he just worked his socks off every game, and I'm still convinced that he had the natural goal-scoring ability to be a top goal-scorer if he just worked hard. His work ethic was, if his work ethic was so much higher, then Balotelli could have filled that void that Suarez left, and he could have been Liverpool's main striker of the next 5 years. I mean, certainly not right now, but previously, after the Suarez era, it could have been the Balotelli era. But he just didn't take that opportunity, and he left shortly after. And yeah, Balotelli is not even 30 now. He's just closing in on his 30th birthday. So he has been around a long time, and it just shows that even the biggest talents in world football, if you don't work hard, if you don't have the discipline, and if you don't do everything in your power to be the best that you can be, that your career can fall off. And it's just a sad tale, and I just wanted to give my opinion on it. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's Liverpool news episode. Thanks for watching. See you guys. Goodbye.